All right, YouTube Axis and Allies brethren, welcome back to the turret number 2 in Wake Forest, North Carolina for this 42.2 version variant game of Axis and Allies between No Limit as the Allies and myself, Captain Jack, as the Axis. This is the J3 turn, so Japan's third turn or in the third round. They will have 41 IPCs to spend because they had 4 left over from last round and they had collected 37. For the purchases, they will be buying 2 transports for 14, 4 infantry for 12, and 1 industrial complex for 15, for a grand total of 41. So they'll be spending them all. So for combat movements in this round, there will be 2. There will be 1 in Yunnan. Right here, that seems to be a big territory that we've been that's been going back and forth since the beginning of the game here, and so another battle will take place there, and then another one will take place in the territory of Kazakh in southern Russia. All right, so for the movement, if you guys will bear with me, I've bought me a new camera stand, so I'm trying to get used to that. And let me grab my notes here. Okay, so for the battle in Yunnan, we will be sending 4 fighters from the carriers in... Actually, let me set the camera up real quick. Get it stable. You guys might like that a little bit better. Yeah, I think you can see all that from here, from there. All right, so from the 2 carriers in C Zone 60 off of Japan, we've got 4 fighters going into Yunnan. We've got 1 artillery from Szechuan and 1 tank from Xinjiang. So we've got 4, excuse me, we're going to have, yes, 4 air units, 5 air units, because we're going to bring in the fighter from Kwangtung as well. So it'll be 5 fighters, 1 tank, and 1 artillery going up against 4 infantry and 1 artillery. No Limit had indicated that he had moved an AA gun from Burma into Yunnan on the last move, but he did that with a non-combat move, and I don't think he can do that because he didn't own the territory at the beginning of the round, so I've moved that back to Burma. So we're checking on that right now, but I'm pretty sure that is the case, that he can't move that in there yet. So, which will be helpful to me because I've got 5 air units coming in there. Also in Kazakh, we're going to have 2 infantry from Xinjiang, 1 artillery from Xinjiang, and 2 fighters from Manchuria, moving 1, 2, 3 spaces. They'll have 1 movement left in their fuel gauge. Also, these fighters here, the 4 fighters from the aircraft carrier, they'll have 2 movements left. They left from 60, they came down to 61, and then they went into Yunnan. And then the fighter that was in Kwangtung will have 3 movements left in its fuel gauge. So, those are the 2 battles for this round. So let me get the dice set up and we'll take care of that. All right, so for the Battle of Yunnan, we have 1 Japanese artillery, 1 Japanese tank, and 5 Japanese fighters in the dice, represented by 5 blue 3-hit die, 1 green 2-hit die, and 1 D6. We've also got a D6 going in there, so it'll have to hit it 3 or less. It's representing the tank. All right, so here's the roll for the Japanese attack. And we've got 4 hits. We've got 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we're 4 hits initially. So that'll take out all of the UK infantry. Now, the UK infantry will get to return fire. That'll be 4 green dice, 4 green 2-hit die, and a 5th one for the artillery. All right, so here goes the UK counterfire, or counterattack. And there was can see all the dice. There was one hit. One hit right there, 4 misses, and 1 hit. So the Japanese will lose their artillery. All right. So good, so far so good. We can't lose any more ground units though. All right, so let's get these out of the way. So what is remaining is 1 UK artillery unit, 1 Japanese tank, and 5 fighters. So again, we'll load up for the 5 fighters and 1 D6. So we've got the 5 blue hit, got one. 5 blue hit die for the fighters and 1 D6 for the tank. Looking for 1 hit. And got plenty of hits. Actually got 4. Rolled a 1 on the D6 twice. I could be so lucky when I play my son. Okay, so that artillery has been eliminated. So now, 1 UK artillery will fire back. If it hits, I'll have a decision to make whether to lose a fighter or a tank. All right, so here we go. Here's the roll for the counterattack. And it did hit. So I do have to make a decision here. And I will probably lose... I'm going to lose the fighter. I'm going to keep that tank. I'm going to keep that tank and take that territory. So Yunnan goes back to the Japanese, so they'll go up to 31. The U.S. will go back down to 39 IPCs. All right, so let me get the next battle set up and we'll go from there. All right, so for the Battle of Kazakh, we've got 2 Japanese infantry and 2 Japanese fighters and 1 artillery going up against 1 lone Russian infantry unit. So 2 fighters or 2 blue die. 2 infantry are at, well, 1 lone infantry by itself is at 1 black hit die, and then 1 artillery and infantry promoted by the artillery together is 2 hit dies. So we're looking for 1 hit here, 1 hit. And thank goodness there was only one hit of all that, but it was 1. You can see right there. All right. And the Russian infantry will get to fire back with 1 green 2 hit die. And there's the roll, and there was no hit. You can see that right there. All right, so that battle has concluded. Let me clean up the board after that.